We certainly are pretty lucky to be travelling this amazing country. It's hard to believe we've been on the road for 3 months now, but we certainly have loved every minute of it. The places and people we have met will always be a part of us now, and I feel travelling has shaped us and allowed us to grow into more adventurous people. With that though, there is always things we wish we knew sooner, so we've decided to break down 12 things we wish we knew before we left to go travelling. And hopefully this can help you guys if you're planning the big lap, so let's get into it, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bushbound 42. I'm Greer.
And I'm Nathan, and this week we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to do 12 things that we wish we knew before we started travelling.
Yeah, so we watched some of these videos before we started travelling, and I guess this is all the ideals and stuff that you don't really think of before you actually leave. You have this idea in your head, I guess, of what it's going to be like, but when you actually hit the road, it feels very different. It is very different.
And it's different for, like, every individual as well. So
Definitely.
This is our list of what we've come up with. So it might be different for, like, you guys or someone else you may watch. So yeah, let's get into it.
So our first thing is, it's not what it's like on Instagram.
Yeah, that's a good one, because, like, you almost feel guilty in a way for not meeting. I know you watch reels and, like, obviously you look at all the posts and you're like, wow, that looks amazing. And don't get me wrong, travelling is amazing, but there is the bad days of, like, yeah, you're in gravel pits and you're working on your car and you're on the ground getting covered in grease, and you just don't see that side on social media.
100%, and it's not as aesthetic as you think it is. Like, of course we're going to show you the best of our travels because that's what you want to watch, but in reality it's just really not like that. Hey, like, and you feel like you're not meeting the expectation, like when you have a dirty camp or, you know, things just don't look the way you'd want them to, you kind of feel guilty.
Yeah, you do.
And like you're missing out on something.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, we always say, like, oh, are we travelling in the right way? I know that sounds silly, but yeah, I don't know, you're kind of comparing to what everyone else is putting on social media, and
100%.
that can kind of lead or take away the enjoyment of it, I think.
Definitely.
But
yeah, 100%.
Number 2 would be pick your camping gear wisely, like, for example, our chairs and stuff.
This chair is an abomination. It's great, it's so comfortable, it's great to lay back, but it is massive and it does not fit in our canopy very well at all. It's like a twist and budge to try to get it in there.
Yeah, it's all well and good. Like, I think it's very different from weekend trips away where you're taking chairs and stuff and you're camping, but when you're living out of it and, like,
you've got to pack it away every day, or every day that you move you've got to pack it away. And then you just get annoyed, hey, and you're just so frustrated. You're like, why did I choose this chair?
Yeah, it's a little bit big and stuff like that, but that would be our thing. Even the table as well. Like,
our table's way too big. It's just a constant struggle to get it and to fit it in the canopy.
And I feel like when you're moving a lot, like full-time on the road especially, like, you want it quick, easy, and, like, another thing, don't take up all your room you've got, like that chair does.
Yes. I would definitely say, if you have the opportunity to, test it out as much as you can before you go. Take it out on trips as much as you can. We didn't really get to do that as much as we would have liked to, so I think that's kind of where it came in. And once you buy a chair, you've got it, and it's expensive, and you're not just going to take it back. We can't take it back after
we've already
you've
used
opened
it.
Yeah, so that can be a little bit frustrating.
Alright, we'll move on to the next one.
Okay, so our third one is, if you're not enjoying it, just move on.
Yeah, that is a good one. Like, we faced bad weather pretty well all up the east coast, from, like, what, the sunny coast there, all the way to Cairns. And it was very off-putting, and kind of like, you get pretty isolated in the caravan, you can't come out, or like, you go to cook something outside because our kitchen's outside and it blows the fire out, and you're like, oh. And
then we have dogs, so the dogs get wet. Then you're picking up a hairy wet dog that stinks, and like, it's really frustrating. It
does get pretty short pretty quick.
Yeah, so our biggest lesson is to literally just move on. If you're not having fun, you're not having a good time, the weather's bad, just move on. It's not the end of the world. You can come back to it another time. I know some things are really far away, and maybe they are worth sticking out, but in our case, the East Coast, for example, it's easily accessible to us. We can fly from our parents' house. You know, it's not that far up the coast. We'll probably do Cape York again. So
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's accessible. But yeah, I would just say move on if you're not having a good time.
Yeah, 100%. Number 4, that would be having an adequate battery setup for what meets your needs on the road.
Definitely.
Yeah, like we changed the caravan out to 240 amps of lithium, and we just run them pretty on angle. We've got 300 amp hours of lithium as well in the car. But when you're off grid and, like, say the weather like it isn't really sunny and stuff, you definitely notice like how quickly you can recharge it. So a good like charger, good solar panels is definitely a must.
Yeah, for context, I guess where we went wrong was not being able to connect like a solar blanket to the car. So yeah, it has 300 amp hours of lithium, but when you're not moving, you've only got what the solar panel is putting in, and we don't have another way to charge up that battery in that car. So when we sit for a long time, it depletes, especially because we use that to like charge our phones and charge a lot of things. So our suggestion is, I guess, just do the work before you leave. In an ideal world, we should have put an Anderson plug on that car just so we could have extra power if we need it.
Or the ability to run the solar blanket and the panel,
so we never have to worry, because it's 10 times harder to do when you're on the road than it is before you leave.
Yeah, it's a lot less inconvenient because you're going to be doing it like
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, pouring everything out.
Yeah, and sometimes with no tools or ability to like go pick up what you need from the shops.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, alright. Next one.
Okay, number 5 would be less is more.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The less you take, the better.
Yeah.
Just go with the bare necessities. Like, if you really, really need something, you'll find a way to get it. And as long as you've got the basics, you can get the rest later.
You never actually realise how much you can go without until you start travelling. Like, it's easy, like, I know, when you live in a house and stuff, you just have so much clutter and junk.
Yeah. For example, like, our motto is a little bit like, we can go without, and we're okay with that. In our situation, we use the gas stove for everything. We don't have another way of cooking food, and we wanted to buy a kettle. And I said to Nathan, like, we need to just learn to go without, because it's just another thing that we have to lug around and pull out and put away every time we move. And yes, it can be frustrating at times, of course, like you lose out on the convenience of it, but ultimately we would just have a caravan full of stuff and no room to put it.
Yeah, and that also stems into the, like, just because you have the storage or the ability to take stuff, don't just fill everything, because like you're just adding weight, and it just becomes like a pain in the butt to try and get the most simple thing out, because you have to unpack like your whole drawer to get it or something like that.
Especially in our case, just with our caravan set up, because everything's
pretty compact.
Under chairs and in really small cupboards and stuff like that. So and I think that goes along with the doing as many shakedowns as you can. That really helps, because then that helps you figure out what it is that you actually need. Yeah,
and you learn where everything can live. Alright, number 6, we've come up with the point of your days can be more boring than you think.
You have to learn to be okay with relaxing. And if you're anything like us, which I'm sure a lot of people are, who lead very busy lifestyles, and that was our lifestyle before we left to travel full time, it's actually a lot harder to do than you think.
Yeah, you just go flat out and then switch straight off.
Like. And you're just sitting here like in a beautiful place like this, but you still feel some sort of like emptiness, like you should be doing something and you should be busy. And
you feel guilty for sitting down and relaxing, and I know that sounds really silly, but like you just sit here and you're like, oh, I feel like I should be doing something productive.
And you think, oh, it's going to be great, like I'm not going to be doing anything, I'm going to be able to just chill, but it is a lot harder than you think it is.
Yeah, especially for us to be like, alright, I'm bored now, what's next?
What's next? That's always what we're saying, what's next? But you do learn to wind down over time, and I think what helps with that is finding a hobby, finding something to do. Nathan's thing is he likes to edit these videos, and I work a couple days a week, so that really helps me. And then I like to read. So
you're a big reader.
Yeah, so that helps. Okay, so number 7 is don't count the money as it comes out of your bank account. You need to learn to let it go. If anybody knows me personally, they know that I'm pretty tight and I don't like to spend money. My parents will be like, yes, that's so true.
So my parents are like, yeah, true that.
I think my biggest lesson is it all kind of evens out in the end. You spend lots of money in cities when you're stocking up on stuff and you buy things that you realise that you need, and then when you're off-grid camping and you stay there for a while, you're not spending much money. So it all kind of evens out in the end. Just let it be. You're there to enjoy yourself. Obviously that's within reason. I think our thing is like we go without things. We only really do the things that we need, and we splurge every now and then.
We'd rather use our funds and spend it on the actual adventure side, if that makes sense, rather than just wasting it on stuff.
Yeah, we don't go out to eat a lot.
No, we don't spend a lot of like fucking alcohol and like takeaway food, and
we kind of have the things that we need, and then there's things that we want, and we don't go for the things that we want until we're like, oh yeah, let's treat ourselves. Yeah. So that kind of helps with our budget, and it ends up kind of evening out a lot. Hey.
Yeah, and we definitely live by the motto, like, the longer we can keep our money like with us in a way, like the longer we get to do this. So
it's worth it. It's like a worthwhile sacrifice
100%.
for us. Yeah. Okay, number 8, and this one's more for me and what I found, because I do a lot of like the online shopping and ordering and stuff, is collecting parcels is not as easy as I thought it would be. Get the stuff when you're in the cities.
Yeah, it definitely pays to like for example,
prepared.
we were just in Darwin not long ago, like, oh, should we get this, that? And we're like, we didn't, and now we're like, looking in Kununurra here and they don't have it.
They don't have it, like, of course they don't. That's my silly fault.
Yeah, that's
But we've called companies and asked, hey, do you send with Ozpost? Can we parcel collect this? And we've just been getting hit with no's, and it's really frustrating, hey?
Yeah, it definitely pays to stock up in main cities while you can, because...
Or order it before you start travelling.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got it before you leave.
Because the parcel pickup thing doesn't work as good as living
And then
somewhere.
you've got to pick it up in 10 days, and like, we don't plan. We don't like to plan until it's like the day before or a couple days before.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be when I need to pick this parcel up, and then I have 10 days to go pick it up.
And then you feel obliged that you need to like, go get it.
Yeah, I find it stressful, but maybe a lot of other people don't.
Yeah. Alright, number 9. That would be spend the money like on whatever you need to change or get ready on your setup while you have a job.
100%. It's way harder to watch the money come out of your bank account when you don't have as much incoming funds as you have outcoming.
Yeah, 100%. You get a bit reliant on that income and stuff. But yeah, for us, we set an end goal of what money we wanted to leave with.
Yeah.
And so whatever was in the setup prior, that's just what it was, and we just had to keep pushing back our date until we had around that amount.
Yeah. Okay, number 10, and this one might be a little bit controversial, but if it can fit on your setup and you can afford it, get a boat.
Yeah, 100%. We've been to places like Karumba and King Ash Bay, which are like the fishing capitals of that whole area, and we didn't have a boat. I'm like, oh, we might just fish off the bank, but it's definitely not the same.
It's not the same, and like, we're not big fishermen. We don't fish all the time. We didn't fish a lot before we started traveling, but it's a hobby. It's something to do and to keep you busy. And when you don't have a boat, you miss out on seeing so much, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like it opens up way more avenue for adventure, and you can get to places that other people mightn't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, especially in WA, I think it's a very big thing, like when you more get to like the Ningaloo and stuff like that. There's only so far you can swim and snorkel, so...
Yes, that's one thing we definitely feel like we miss out on, and we wish we had prepared more for, because it's a lot harder to make those adjustments for a boat now that we've got our setup.
Yeah, 100%. But I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Alright, number 11 would be, don't compare your setup to anyone else's. Yeah, like, be content and comfortable with what you have, and just because you see someone with like a bigger car, bigger van, or whatever they have, doesn't mean you're going without.
Definitely.
Like, I know, to me as well, like, you can have the biggest and best setups, but or you can have a $50 swag. At the end of the day, you're still seeing the same stuff.
100%.
And if that works for you and you're comfortable doing that, like, well, then so be it, you know what I mean? It works.
I think on that point, like, comparison is the thief of joy. Do what works for you. Our little setup works brilliantly for us.
Yeah.
And people do it in smaller things than this, and people do it in much bigger things. Find whatever works for you, and as we talked about before, do as many shakedowns as you can and make sure that that's going to work for you, because you might try a setup and decide you really don't like it and you can't live in it long term, and it's a lot harder to change when you're actually on the road. So
100%.
Make sure it works for you, and don't compare your setup or what you've got to somebody else's.
Yeah, as long as it meets your needs, that's all like it needs to do.
Definitely. Okay, number 12, last but definitely not least, is you don't have to tick off every destination. People are going to give you suggestions, and of course listen to them. If they've been there before, they know. They've seen it with their own eyes.
100%.
But don't feel guilty if you don't get around to it. Especially a lot of, obviously, Northern Australia is seasonal, so you need to hit many locations in one go if you're doing, say, a lap.
Yeah.
So don't feel guilty if you can't get somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, and to me, it's, I don't know, on a map it looks pretty small, but when you start driving, that sounds silly, but when you start driving, you don't actually realise the distances between everywhere. So it's, I don't know, to me it's nearly impossible to reach every single little destination in one area. And I don't know, and it's, in a way, it kind of leaves the unknown there, you know what I mean? There's a reason to go back, so.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can't do everything. It's just not possible. Well, it's not possible for us. Maybe it is for other people, but for us it's not. And we've kind of let go of that feeling of feeling guilty. Like,
yeah. At first we kind of felt like we're missing out, like, oh no, like we're missing out here, like, but you kind of just accept it.
Yeah, and it's given us more time to spend in places that we really enjoy too.
Yeah, and that we've wanted to come to for a long time.
Definitely. So. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that wraps up things we wish we knew before we went travelling full time.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think that we're already 3 months on the road.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned for a new video each week, and we'll catch you guys next time on Bushbound 42.
See yas. Okay, if you've stuck around this long, I have a couple quick ones. Number one, if you can leave your dogs in loving hands with somebody else, take that option. We didn't have that option, and we love our dogs to death. Like, they're like our children. We love them.
Yeah,
but
100%.
It does make things a lot harder.
Yeah, it definitely is a limiting factor.
Yeah.
But in saying that, we haven't missed out on anything either. Like, we have been to every single national park so far, but now that we're in WA and it's going west, it may come in. I don't know. It may limit us here.
Yeah. Number two is train your dogs before you leave, because our dogs are really reactive to other dogs. They bark a lot. It's honestly only because they want to play, but it sounds aggressive and it's really annoying, and it's a lot harder to do when you're actually on the road.
Yeah, it's more annoying like when you're in a caravan park, you know what I mean? You camp pretty close and they're pulling on leads and knocking chairs over and the table goes flying or something like that. But
do it before you leave. Do the hard work before you go.
Yeah.
And leave your partner at home.
Amen.